What is up, guys? Rick Kakis here, and today we have a bunch of Destiny and Destiny 2 news to cover. Now, usually every Thursday I will make a Destiny news video going over what news came out with the Bungie weekly update, and we're still going to cover that in today's video. However, a lot more stuff happened today, specifically involving Destiny 2. Now, there was a supposed leak, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with at this point, and also the official Activision Conference call for the Q4 fiscal year happened, and Destiny 2 news did come out of that as well. So I'm sure you guys are probably more interested in the Destiny 2 news than the Destiny news, so let's organize a video like that. And firstly, we're going to talk about the Destiny 2 news involving the supposed leak. So, there was an anonymous post on Reddit detailing that Destiny would be called Destiny 2 Forge of Hope, among a lot of other things, and I did a video on this leak and said at the very beginning of the video, there's a lot of red flags. This is definitely not the most legitimate information. It's a random Reddit post, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Well, good thing I said that, because it looks like this leak is most likely fake. The marketing director for Bungie, Eric Osborne, tweeted out Forge of Nope. So pretty categorically saying, this isn't happening. It should be noted that they also did deny when Rise of Iron was leaked, but that turned out to be true. However, it's definitely looking like this whole Forge of Hope thing, that whole Reddit post, is fake. So that's where we're at with this whole leak situation. It's probably fake, and that definitely doesn't surprise me. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, well then why did you cover it? Why'd you cover it if it's probably fake? Because it's fun. I like what I do. I like making videos, and I like talking about Destiny 2 leaks and speculation and all that stuff. It's a really fun thing to do. I'm sure a lot of you guys do it with your friends and talk about what could be in Destiny 2. I heard this, I heard that. And again, it's just fun to do. So I'd rather cover something, give a good warning at the beginning of the video and then end up being wrong for fun's sake than to just dictate, what you guys deserve to hear. Now, thankfully, this whole leak situation wasn't the only Destiny 2 thing that came out today. As I said earlier, Activision hosted today their financial conference call, and to go with that conference call, they also had a presentation that investors could look at. Part of this presentation, and guys, this is not a leak, this is about as official as it gets coming from Activision. Well, we've got this little square here talking about Destiny 2's fall release. It says, full Destiny sequel in 2017 to broaden the franchise's global reach, along with follow-up content plans, sets the stage for growth. So, right there in the official Activision investors presentation for their conference call, they are saying Destiny 2 fall 2017. Now, I wouldn't say this is groundbreaking because we already knew that Destiny 2 was slotted for a fall 2017 release date in the last Activision conference call when the Activision CEO said that. But this is just further confirming it. Now, it's important to nail home this point because there was actually a lot of rumors talking about how Destiny could be delayed into 2018. And while it definitely is important to mention that that still is possible, Destiny 2 may still get delayed, it is looking categorically like Destiny 2 is going to come out fall 2017, which is awesome. Now, to further hammer home the likelihood that Destiny 2 will release in fall 2017, Kotaku today reported that Activision will actually get Bungie stock, substantial amounts of Bungie stock, if they fail to hit that fall 2017 release date. So that's really interesting. That's probably not a good thing, and a good way to form a relationship with your developers is to pressure them into getting the release date or you take their stock, but it's definitely, if it's true, something that will encourage Bungie to get the game finished in time for a fall 2017 release date. Now, I think something else that's very much worth mentioning that also came out in this conference call was that Activision said that with with Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, they set the record for revenue made with a Call of Duty. And that's because they made more money with supply drops in Black Ops 3 than they did with the Season's Pass, which is huge. And this definitely relates to Destiny because Eververse. We have Eververse, we have microtransactions, we basically have the Destiny version of supply drops with, Treasures of the Dawning, with Radiant Treasure, all of that stuff happening in Destiny right now. And if Activision is saying that we are breaking records for revenue, we are making so much money with these supply drops, more people are buying COD points than they are buying the bloody Seasons Pass and DLC, that means that there is very likely to be an Eververse store, there's very likely to be microtransactions returning in Destiny 2 in full force. So be aware of that, get ready for that, because it's very, very likely to happen. However, unlike Call of Duty right now, Destiny does have a lot of free content. The Dawning, the April update, all of that stuff, which is kind of funded by microtransactions. So it's not looked upon by the community as that negative of a thing if you are getting free content out of it, which is good, and I hope they continue that trend in Destiny 2 with the free content coinciding. Now, very interestingly, we do have a little bit more Destiny 2 news. On the Activision conference call, there is a Q&A session. One of the people asking the question said, "We want to know more about Destiny," and he got a little bit of a response. The main response was a lot of kind of business speak, and it was stuff like, we're going to make this game more accessible. They did kind of really emphasize that it's more accessible for the casual player. They can have a casual first-person experience, which kind of does make sense. Destiny, it's rated T for teen. It does have some casual aspects, but it also has some pretty hardcore aspects. PvP is not a place for casuals, really at all. And so they did say that, and they also talked about bringing Destiny 2 to more foreign markets that Destiny was not available in. But I think most importantly, the thing that stood out to me in the answer from Activision was that they actually did say, for one of the key focuses of Destiny 2 is that they plan to bring a large cinematic experience with a cast of memorable characters. That's pretty interesting. That's actually saying that, that's some pretty good information, saying that Destiny 2 will be focusing on the kind of legendary Destiny cinematics. We've had some great cinematics. Lord Saladin with his flaming hammer, the opening to the Taken King, all of that stuff. So they could be bringing even more of an emphasis on that kind of content. Is that they have a bigger story plan for Destiny 2, which definitely makes sense, but they have more of these big cinematic moments throughout the story as you're learning and exploring through Destiny 2's storyline. So that is definitely pretty cool, and it's definitely some good news. I think a lot of people would agree that, of course, the original Destiny lacked a little bit in story. Hopefully Destiny 2 can improve upon that quite a bit. Now, as for news for the original Destiny, the Bungie Weekly Update has just been released. The first piece of news was regarding the actual launch time of the next Sandbox update, the next patch, which is hotfix 2.5.0.2. We already know it's February 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific, but a little piece of interesting information is that Bungie said that we tend to get started around 10 a.m. Pacific. So expect at that time the patch to be released, and then you're going to have to go and download it, and then after that you can play it. It won't already be in the ether ready to download by that time. That time is likely going to, again, launch the ability to download the next patch. Bungie also actually mentioned, funny enough, a little bit of information about the next patch coming to Destiny. We're talking past the February 14th patch. Deej said that weapons and abilities were the focus of this work. The post-show dialogue has observed the absence of changes to artifacts, namely scories. People were very concerned about scory abusers within PvP, and the scories artifact was just not addressed. In fact, Bungie plain out said, we are not changing any of the artifacts whatsoever in this next patch. A lot of people were upset by that, so Bungie did talk about this, and they continued to say, quote, "You haven't heard the last from the live team, and the Sandbox update is always an important part of their exploration of where the game should go next. with 2.5.0.2 almost off the workbench, our design team is looking at a future release as a potential vehicle for some tuning on artifacts as well. Time will tell, and you're always part of the conversation. So what that says to me is that we already know that Destiny is planning to have another April update style of expansion this coming spring. It may not actually be in April, maybe in May, June, July, somewhere like that, but Deej did say, look to the spring, the live team will have more to bring you. Now what Bungie is saying here is that with that live update, with its arrival, it could also be used again as a vehicle to facilitate some more balancing features, and one of those features could indeed be a nerf to the Scories artifact. Now aside from that, there really wasn't any more Destiny news. Bungie kept it short and sweet for this week's weekly update. However, I was kind of surprised to not see any mention of the Iron Banner. There is presumably going to be a February Iron Banner. Likely it's going to be announced next week. They always have a week between when it's actually announced. You know, they announce what weapons, what armor are going to be in it, and the game types and so on. And that is always done a week prior to the Iron Banner actually launching. And quite frankly, we're running out of February, so I expect to see Iron Banner announced again next week. If it's not next week, I'll be very surprised. Guys, that is it for all of the Destiny 2, Call of Duty Activision, just a ton of news revealed today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. Now, if you guys want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good day.